Good afternoon and welcome to the Hazelwood Centre in Sunbury upon Thames for this Premiership Rugby Under-18 League fixture between two sides whose rivalry stretches back for what feels like as long as the game itself has existed. Enemies along the A316 for so many years, they once even shared a ground, but now it is the turn for the future to write their own bit of history between these two great clubs. It's London Irish versus Harlequins, the Under-18 League. Some hot prospects on show for you here today. Well, London Irish and Quins both come into this fixture off the back of victories. Fifth, London Irish registered a victory over Gloucester at Kingsholm, and a handsome one at that, with 7 tries last week, while Harlequins warmed up for their campaign with a friendly victory over Newcastle at Loughborough University. So two sides showing great promise, but they know that this is a sterner test. There's history between them, and there is also history of great success and big stars who've gone on to do great things in the game. Are we going to see the star of tomorrow today? Well, maybe, just maybe, in the green of London Irish or the famous quarters of Harlequins. So a welcome to all of our viewers, London Irish supporters and Harlequin supporters alike. And I know that there are a number of people tuning in from across the globe. There's esteemed viewers in the USA, and I can imagine there are 3 eagle-eyed viewers in South Africa in the form of Rory Taylor, Connor Byrne and Sean Kerr, who were donning the white of England in their under-20s match against South Africa A yesterday. So it's a hello to everybody. We hope you enjoy the fixture ahead. And it being so long since we brought you Academy action, it feels remiss to not catch up with one of the main men, a Harlequins man and boy, 23 years at the club, 10 as a player, 13 involved with the Academy. We caught up with Jim Evans before the match. Jim, thanks so much for taking the time to catch up with us before this big clash against London Irish. We'd love to find out what you guys have been up to over the summer, because you've got a bit of a new coaching makeup with Gerard Mullen coming in. You've been training 3 times a week for the last 5 weeks. So tell us about the preparations coming into this season.
Yeah, we've had a really good pre-season. Good crop of boys. Obviously, Gerard brings some new ideas. He's done a fantastic job with the Quins ladies, with the women's team. Jordan Turner Hall there before, that's moved up to our senior academy, and Gerard's come in and he's settled in really well. Some new ideas. His attention to detail is really good, and the boys are really loving it and enjoying the energy that he brings.
That's awesome to hear. Well, look, for many, if not all, of the Quins fans who are tuning in, it's going to be their first opportunity to see these under-18s in action. So what can you tell us about this current crop of academy players?
Yeah, we're really excited. We had a strong group last year, and I think this group know it. They were the under-17s, and the under-18s group did very well last year. So, I think they know what they sort of had to live up to, and they're more than capable of doing it. We've got a good blend of forwards and backs. There's some good talent sprinkled around. They're hard workers. No doubt that they will make mistakes today, but the effort and the energy levels have been really good. They've shown that over the whole summer. It's been a tough summer with the weather we've had. Out in the heat at St John's Leatherhead. But yeah, they're ready to go. They're ready to go.
So you've seen plenty of these boys, including a friendly against Newcastle last week against Loughborough. What did you learn about the group there?
Yeah, we've had a festival, RFU festival at Malvern as well, where we played on a concrete pitch, and then at Newcastle at Loughborough. I think we've learned that they stick together, under challenging times. So when we're on under the cosh in our own 22, they fight for each other. But more excitingly, with ball in hand, they can finish some things. There's some good try scorers out there. They move the ball to space. And they're exciting to watch.
And then in terms of today's opposition, London Irish, hot prospects, what have you got to nullify from them to triumph today?
Yeah, I mean, we've obviously, the boys have had an opportunity to watch London Irish. They played their first game against Gloucester last week, and a very good performance. They're a pretty all-rounded team. They've got some very good players, across the board. I don't want to pick too many out, but their 12 is he's a very good ball player. Big when he wants to carry, but he can put the ball on the boot and find the corners if there's space over there. They've got a very good back row. Their 7's very strong over the top of the ball. ball. So, you know, they're the threats that we have to look out for, you know, get in their face and close them down.
Well, we're looking forward to Quins making a very strong attempt at nullifying those threats. Good luck today, Jim.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
The boys have been working hard and they're eager to get out and represent their teams in their famous colours. Let's meet the boys taking to the field for London Irish under-18s. Tyler Afire, a debutant from the bench last week, started his London Irish Academy career with a try. He's only an under-17, but he finds himself promoted to the starting lineup, and he'll have the experience, the talent of the much talked about Cam Ellis in the 12 jersey. 2 tries against Gloucester alongside him. He'll be the key string puller out in the middle today. As for the forwards, it's difficult to look past the power and the class of a young Kepu Tuipulotu. Eagle-eye schoolboy rugby watchers will remember him from hoisting the under-16 Rosslyn Park Sevens trophy for Harrow at the end of last season. But this Harlequin side are littered with class, and none more so than the 9-10 axis of Josh Bellamy and Lucas Friday. Bellamy used to being seen in the 15 jersey, Lucas Friday playing up a year, but both should have a telepathic knowledge of each other's games from their time at Trinity School. In the pack, Lucas Schmid brings dynamic power and an offloading game in the 8 jersey, while 2 converted centres in the form of Hal Kennedy and Theo Curry bring ball-playing might to the second row. Plenty of firepower to call upon from both benches, but Finn Wiseman, wearing 23, is another one of the under-17s playing up a year. He makes his debut when he comes from the bench. He's a winger, can play 15, very, very tricky. And in contrast, another under-17 wearing 20, Ollie Streeter for Harlequins, a big unit with a single-minded approach to contact. So the teams out on the field here, playing on the 4G at Hazelwood. And for those of you who haven't made the journey down to London Irish's training home, well, it may be 22 degrees on the thermometer, but I can tell you there is always a wicked wind sweeping through. And on this day today, mercifully, no longer the rain for those of you who woke up to the pitter-patter when the alarm clock sounded. It sweeps through right to left, but it is Irish in green who'll be kicking us off left to right. A nice crowd amassed here. So Louis Hurd sends the kickoff into Harlequin hands and invites his pack to charge on. Josh Bellamy, first time on the ball, finding Lucas Schmid, who sits down a would-be tackler. Lovely hands, flipping it round the back of the defenders. Good adventure from Harlequins early, but stripped on the floor by Irish. Schmid is down injured after that initial carry. So Harlequins playing with 14. Hurd pulling the strings out the back. Oh, it just slipped forward, didn't it, from Harrison Hall. Great adventure being demonstrated by both these sides early. Just a glimmer of the tricks in the boxes of these young players. Here we go. Well, definitely forward. Referee Jamie Pearl making the right call, assisted by the 10-metre line as well, just to confirm that that one did indeed go forward from the left hand of Harrison Hall. Well, Schmid is up for Quins. He's just slotting himself in to the number 8 position. A first chance to take a look at the set piece. McEachran, Goodridge and Vince in the front row for Irish against Twitchin, Staples and Fleary, and a good contest. Quins with solid ball to play with, and Bellamy goes to the boot, turning Irish around. Johnny Sharp finding his winger in support. Offside of the back foot, that'll be frustrating for Harlequins. It was a good kick, wasn't it, to turn the Irish defence, and the chase was good as well. But just too eager to get in the faces of the London Irish attackers. So we've seen the scrum. Time for the aerial set piece now. George Goodridge of Irish to throw. Finds his man Saunders leaping highest. First attack, big carry coming through the middle. More nice play from Irish. Hall brought down just shy of the 10-metre line. This time McKecker and Hurd. Defence is watchful at the moment. Another big carry coming off the distribution of Louis Hurd. That's nice from a fire. And Irish making good progress. On the doorstep of the 22, they decide to go out the back. Well, it was in the Knights' hands, and then it was stolen remarkably by Gabriel Kadir. Just as Irish are finding their rhythm, that's a good charge down. Irish under pressure at the back. Johnny Sharp mops up the mess. Bellamy puts the foot down. Good turn of pace. Long time for the ball to be in play now. A few tired bodies and tired minds defensively means James Davies goes charging through a gap. Great offload, fabulous support. That's Frank McMillan, and that's the opening score of the match. Brilliant charge from James Davies, but it was all about McMillan's support play. He worked hard off the ball, the big number 12. And there's his reward right there. Impeccable timing, just as Davies turned his shoulder looking for the man. Conversion added, and Harlequins, having soaked up that pressure with the charge down, with the opportunism, and with the 7-point lead after less than 6 minutes. Davies likes that little inside centre seam. That's the one he went charging through to create the opportunity of the try. But Quins cough up possession. Irish with a chance to rebuild again. Ellis just not quite happening at the moment. Stutter, and he's off again. Good tackle from Anstey, and there's the penalty. Good work from Cam Ellis. It's a low tackle from Anstey. And a side entry with the intent to clear out early. So Irish just struggling to find their rhythm at the moment. First chance to see Jimmy Staples arrows for Harlequins. Good drills from Quins, gets them off and away, and Bellamy, the linchpin there, gives a difficult ball to Schmid, who is stationary, and it's a knock on. An Irish chance to counter now. Onto the toe, big open space in behind. It's a foot race coming down this wing as well. A fire in pursuit, wraps up the Quins player. But Bellamy's away. Bellamy catching London Irish unaware. There's Kepu Tuipulotu. Well, a frenetic passage there. It was a great chase from a fire after the kick through from Harrison Hall. I think the infringement was a shove off the ball on from an Irish player on a Harlequin. Bellamy was off. Tuipulotu regathered, but here we are, scrum on the outskirts of the Quins 22. Ball squirts out, Irish do well to get it away. Hall doesn't use the man coming in. They seek room wide. Theo Williamson stepping back inside. He's looked eager to get on the ball, has Williamson. Worley Brady wearing 6, him and Tuipulotu, they've switched jersey numbers. Here we go, numbers for Irish on the loop round. Johnny Sharp showing a clean set of heels, then darting inside. A metre shy. Just needs the finish, and it comes. Ralph McEachran arriving bang on time, finding the gap and surging across for Irish's first try. Well, it was the fine work of Johnny Sharp down the right flank. Looked to be being shepherded towards the touchline, but he darted back inside, drew defenders into him. And then Ralph McEachran has been very, very dynamic, former number 8. So you expect that kind of athleticism from him out there, applying the finishing touches and allowing Hurd the opportunity to level the scores. Well, 2 testing for Hurd, but certainly something for Irish to cheer about. There's the run from Sharp coming to an end. It was scrambling from Quins, and disorganisation reigned in their ranks by that stage. Declan Danaher in the background, appreciating the angle of McEachran coming in. So it's the start that we'd have imagined, the start we'd have hoped for, and hopefully the shape of things to come from both these sides. But inaccuracy on the kick-off reception from London Irish gives Harlequins a prime piece of attacking real estate. Right on the 22, big blindside. The ball in the hands of Lucas Friday. Zippy service from Friday. Bellamy. Lot of numbers, lot of decoys. We find ourselves out on the wide right flank, and a big Fen coming out. Oh, denied. A fabulous solo finish from the forward pass. would have been tight. Tom Humphries did so well, didn't he? Irish got a bit narrow. There's the final pass. And Humphries stood his opposite man up and he was gone. Irish with work to do to get out of their 22, and Quinn's getting the nudge on, but very, very good carry, good opportunism from Connor Peters, who then finds Ellis on his shoulder. More ball playing from the forwards from Irish, but that's a loose one from Hall. A fire looking to tidy things up. Nice footwork from Hall. Just a little bit loose from Irish at the moment, not stringing the patterns together. Here's Humphries. Intelligent kick into all that space. Connor Peters doing the work of two men at the moment in attack in the sweeping role. Can only find a modest touch though. And Quinn's another set piece to launch from. Last time they set Tom Humphries free from the scrum out wide. Were it not for the forward pass, he would have been home. Bellamy. Again, a lot of runners, a lot of options, and a big chasm opens up for Humphries to go charging through. Will he get his try this time? He won't, because Anstey knocks on. Well, the pace injection from Humphries looked like he could have done it all himself. Brilliant angle, great balance, looking around for that extra man, and well, it was actually a London Irish hand that came in. Desperate stuff from Johnny Sharp to break that try scoring opportunity up. Irish under the cosh here, just about to tick towards 15 minutes played, 35 minutes half for these academy matches. Again, it's pressure from Quinns in the scrum, while Lucas Friday did so well there to almost pick off Connor Peters' pass. A penalty for an intentional knockdown. I mean, it looked like it was in both hands. So a real let-off for Peters. And Irish, but still Irish. Just in the atmosphere of their 22. Can't get out of here at the moment. The defence really attentive from Quinns. Ellis puts his shoulder down. Well tackled by his opposite number. Frank McMillan, the try scorer. Here comes Schmidt boring through. So play halted, 2 knock-ons, the first by Irish. Just Irish lacking that bit of cohesion at the moment, but really in large part it's due to a very coordinated defensive effort from Harlequins at the moment. McMillan doing a good job of snuffing out the threat of Cam Ellis. Friday finds Bellamy. Long ball to Anstey. First time we're seeing him on the ball. Friday has a burrow. Schmid decides to go himself. And in going himself, just that little bit isolated as he falls long. Tui Pelotu, the low slung frame of the Irishman wearing 8, wins the penalty. And just another chance for Irish to clear the decks, which they do a bit better this time. They take play up to the 10-metre line. Remember, they're fighting this fierce wind that is flowing right to left. Very, very tough, even though they're winning penalties, very tough to get out of their quarters. So George Goodrich, good opening throw from him. He finds his man again, the setup, Tui Pelotu looking to break through, but Gabriel Kadir is right on him. Schmidt comes away with it again. Quinn's really profiting at the breakdown at the moment. Looked forward from Bellamy. That play on from the referee. Bellamy back at 10. Finding Anstey, a little skip, and then we're bringing more pace. Rory Minton this time from fullback. Well, it's an absolute dogfight at the breakdown at the moment. Neither side really cherishing possession when they take it into contact. Good opportunities for the Jacklers out there. And there is that sense that if Irish can weather this storm, there will be opportunities, certainly in the latter stages of this half, but also the second when they've got the wind behind their backs. Good fight in the air, but Irish come away with it. Ellis to Hammock. Again, contest on the floor, nice interplay between the front rows. Lovely, in fact. 1, 2 and 3 working in harmony. Hurd, first time we're seeing Irish attack floor. Ellis out the back door. Sharps on his shoulder. More strong play from the forwards. Brandon Vince, the beating heart of this Irish Academy outfit, taking it forward. Irish into the Quins 22. We haven't said that for a while. Oh, you could have read that a mile off. Didn't look up, and here we go. Theo Curry, the huge hulking frame of Theo Curry finds Gabriel Kadira. And that is a dagger to the Irish Hearts, who'd weathered that Harlequin storm in their 22. They're on the surge, but they didn't legislate for Theo Curry lurking in their back line. And Gabriel Kadir showing his pace to add the finish. Well, here's Kadir taking it. Look at him streak away. He had Louis Hurd in pursuit. A fly half against the 6. I'll tell you what, that lad there looks like he could have gone at that pace from the halfway line. Brilliant work off the ball to be there for the offload. And a pretty simple conversion for Josh Bellamy. Stretches Harlequins lead. It is London Irish 5, Harlequins 14. And there is big Theo Curry, who, believe it or not, was up until last year playing centre. And Gabriel Kadir of Greycourt School and Rosslyn Park, getting the try to his name in Harlequins colours. A chance for Irish to respond early. In the Quins half. Just haven't really had the opportunity to spend much time here. The ball in Peter's hands. It's Johnny Sharp in 15 there, right behind the scrum. He's flashing to the left now. Ellis in at first receiver, feeds Hall. But again, it's loose from Irish. Just not being able to build the phases at the moment, London Irish. There's a sense they're trying to force the ball too early, looking for that miracle play or offload. A bit more patience required. Well, London Irish in the ascendancy at scrum time on this occasion. Bellamy, big slice off the left boots. Flings his head back in disgust. Not one for the highlights reel, but one that London Irish won't mind. They get a chance to launch again, this time from the line out. More good line-out drills from Irish. It's really functioned well. Tuipulotu does well to take the pass high on his shoulder. There we go. The front row union doing the business again, but London Irish, they want to play this expansive offloading game, but at the moment, they just seem to be forcing it when the pass isn't on. Time George Goodridge guilty of the offence that many others with numbers a lot higher than him have been guilty of so far in this first half. Bellamy, long to Anstey. Anstey in some space and puts a smart kick over the top and turns sharp. Well, that's the cruelty of the bounce of a 4G. Catches an end and what looked to be a promising tactical decision is going to punish his Quins side. Scrum back. As we see replacements come on, Noah Cowan of London Irish wearing 21, replacing Connor Peters. The Stowe schoolboy, Noah Cowan, known for his quick service. Well, we've got front view seats of just how quick this service might be. Irish scrum. Well, here come Quins. Irish repel them. Hall through the centre. Gives the pass at the last minute just as he's getting tackled by McMillan. Fortunately, he goes back. Hurd, boot to ball. And that's caught the end that Hurd wanted. Just dribbling towards the touchline, but Anstey does magnificently to bat it back in. Kadir in his own dead ball area. This is high-risk stuff. But Quins somehow find a way to pin London Irish back again. But Johnny Sharp, player never afraid of adventure when it comes to attacking from deep. Good tackle on the try scorer. Hurd finding the pass to Vince. Ellis being a bit more sympathetic to Brickley. But penalty advantage. Chance for Irish to really go deep into the Quins 22 here. Trailing by 9. 8 minutes of the half remaining. And they won't get a chance to go deep into the Quins 22 because they've kicked the penalty long. Beyond the dead ball line, beyond the touch line. Tough half for Irish. Everything they've tried hasn't really stuck. Few errors have hamstrung their attempts to get on top. Great credit to this Quinn side as well, who've taken their opportunities as Bellamy sends the ball cannoning down the field from the 22. Still rolling, and across the dead ball. So back we go, all the way. I'm not sure if I've ever seen that before, a 22 drop going the distance over a dead ball. A reprieve for London Irish, who squandered their opportunity by kicking their penalty dead. They find themselves with a scrum in, well, there's not many finer places to be scrumming down in attack. For Quins, really crucial part of the game here. They'll want to keep London Irish out. On top at the moment with that wind. Irish yet to make any of their big plays truly stick. Tuipulotu carries from the base. Well, Irish look to tap and go quickly from the penalty, not from the mark. Cowan brought back. This time Hurd makes sure, drills it to the 5 metre line. Chance for Irish, surely to build a drive. They send Worley Brady up and he's submarine immediately. Good defence from Quins and they get the penalty as well. Well, it all looked set for Irish, didn't it? Finn Worley Brady, the captain, being sent up, taking it cleanly. But it just got dragged down immediately. Then the penalty for Quins. Another example of Irish not taking their opportunities when they get them. And Bellamy, on this occasion, punishes them by taking play up almost to the halfway line. Well, he's a player that you would have heard a lot about, Josh Bellamy. Plays his rugby for Trinity School, who won the Schools Cup, but you'll have seen him in a 15 jersey predominantly. Beginning his transition to fly half, started there last week against Newcastle, starting there today. And really orchestrating things nicely with his big forwards running around him, including inside balls like that. And looked to be a good jackal attempt initially from Worley Brady. Quins get the penalty, 3.5 left of the half. Can they get their third try? This would be a big psychological blow to land late in this first half. Jimmy Staples. Talk of just how good his darts are for a lad his age. Set piece from the line out. Schmidt goes powering through. He gets met by Tui Pelotu and then wrapped up. It's a real wrestle to keep Quins at bay. Oh, well, a wonderful bit of invention from Harlequins there, just to circumvent the set piece entirely. And you just feel that had there been anyone but Kepu Tui Pelotu awaiting Lucas Schmid, he would have gone rampaging over. So a free kick for Irish. They just need to see out this final 2 minutes of the match, of the first half. Beg your pardon. Here we go. Here's Schmid meeting Tui Pelotu. McEachran then coming on in, and before you knew it, there were too many numbers from both sides held up over the line. Good clearance, but Anstey finds it, and then Quins go on the counter. Bellamy, oh, he juggled and looked to find Anstey after blowing through those two challenges. It's quick thinking from Anstey. Here's Bellamy, full of confidence, just targets the seam between, and it was a strong challenge, wasn't it? A free kick to London Irish, an early shove from Kane Fleary. I think the referee has just indicated 10 seconds. Well, he says enough's enough. He draws to a close this first half. Harlequins lead London Irish 14 points to 5. 2 tries for Quins. Once across the whitewash for Irish. Plenty to improve on for both sides, but also plenty of promise for what should be an entertaining second half with more scores to come. So London Irish 5, Harlequins 14, and this is how it went down. This was the first try. It was James Davies wearing 7, slotted through a hole by Josh Bellamy. But Frank McMillan was the key man in support to be on the big number 7 shoulder. And that angle as well, it just left Johnny Sharp no chance. He chased hard, but ultimately it was McMillan to open the scoring early for Quins. Well, Johnny Sharp, who McMillan evaded there, had a big say in this response from Irish. It was McEachran who eventually barreled over through the hole, but it was that run from Sharp coming back inside as well. Kekron was there to finish the job. Well, this was Quins going on the attack, because that's what they did for much of the half. Irish really shackled in their own 22. And the one time that they did manage to get some attacking momentum in the Quins 22, it was picked off by Theo Curry, who then found the sprinting Gabriel Kadir, who has been very impressive in this first half, to stretch his legs and finish the job that Theo Curry started. That was after Curry plucked off an intercept, with Irish on the attack with numbers. And Kadir, cool as you like, but quick as grease lightning, stretching his legs and going all the way. Lucas Schmid almost made it a third try for Harlequins, but Kepu Tuipulotu and a number of other green jerseys held him up sufficiently across the line. For that reason, the first half ends London Irish 5, Harlequins 14. We'll be back with the second half shortly. So London Irish 5, Harlequins 14 in this Premiership Rugby Under-18 League match. And the sun just poking its head out optimistically. The breeze a little less gusty. And Bellamy getting us underway with a kick to create enough confusion for Quins to retain possession. Schmid showing his passing skills. Doesn't quite go to hand, but Minton's there. Kadir, the try scorer, forced to reach high. Quins in reverse, but Lucas Friday looking to dance through. Irish in possession now. Replacements on, gaps opening up as well. Brandon Vince thought about the offload but held on. Something that we didn't get to say too much in the first half. And from that, Irish take a penalty. And there is a Bit of fresh personnel on the field as well. Jack Lee wearing 20 for Irish. Louis Brickley as well. Harrison Hall doesn't find the pass. Quinn's on the attack. Well, McMillan's over the ball, calls on Humphreys to go scrum half. Bellamy forced into something that didn't look all that comfortable. Nearly worked out for him, but falls to a Fire, who kicks long and sets chase. Bellamy showing some of his running game. Chopped nicely by Louis Brickley. Both teams probably looking to put a few more passages of play together, a few more phases. Has been a match characterised by errors and breaking the game up. There's another one squirting out the back, but well, it looked like Quins were going to go quickly from the penalty through Davies. Davies, who's looked really good actually in open play. He was the man to go careering through the gap to set up the opening score for Frank McMillan. Not taken cleanly, but Friday whips it away. Schmid goes powering through the middle of the Irish defence. He won't be stopped either. He's striking first in the second half. Well, once again, Quins finding the deception, finding the soft hands to release one of their big runners. We've seen it through Kadir, we've seen it through Davies. And this time, Schmid the beneficiary. Bellamy surrenders his faultless record from the tee. But the key stat is that the score is London Irish 5, Harlequins 9. Look at that big human being moving at pace. Just opened up for the big number 8. He didn't need a second invitation. Big shot comes in from Tuipulotu. Nice hands from Quins. Just testing the outside channels. Asks a lot of Ellis, who eventually reels in his man. Spilt in the tackle. Connor Peters back on the field. Sharp onto the toe, Sharp in pursuit. Humphreys chasing back. Big dummy, not bought by the Irish defence, but Minton does really well in the end to shirk off the tackles. Louis Hurd finding Sharp. Wow, one of the things about Sharp, he can be brilliant, but there is an unpredictability, and that fling out of the back of his right hand put a huge amount of pressure on his team. And once again, maybe Irish slightly guilty of trying to force things a bit, but they are chasing the game now. Nice crowd collected here at Hazelwood, supporting both these sides. All around both sides of the pitches. But certainly at the moment, more for the away side to be cheering about. Big scrum coming in, and London Irish come away with it, but the referee calls it back. Been a really, really good contest up front at scrum time today. Richard Twitchin wearing one for Quins. He can scrum both sides. Kane Fleary on the other side, cup winner with Trinity School. Jimmy Staples, an under 17, playing up a year. Well, for Irish, Ralph McEachran, who's been everywhere in the loose. It's his first game scrummaging last week against Gloucester. But here come Quins on the break. That's fabulous feed and a strong fender supports there from Minton. But eventually, Irish get the numbers across and snuff out the danger. Fabulous play. And Quins really looking threatening when they get the ball, when they get it wide. Irish with the scrum. Quins with the scrum, I beg your pardon. Bit of a change in back row makeup for Irish. Jack Lee gone to 8, to Bolotu to 6. Quins set up to the left with Tom Humphreys just in the shadow of Josh Bellamy's shoulder. The option of an inside play, but equally the rest of the back line spread wide to the touchline. Well, too many shenanigans at the scrum mean that Quins give up the possession. Irish have the free kick, they send it long and they set chase as well. Bellamy to Minton. Another skip from Quins and an effort to get the ball moving through the hands. Sharp as well finds support in the shape of Louis Brickley. One of the identical twins playing for London Irish today. His brother Kieran starting in the 4 jersey. Here comes Bellamy. Not shy of attacking, is he? And he dances a little bit. That's a brilliant tackle from Peters. Schmid, the try scorer, show inside and takes a few meters. And well, the turnover was good, but the tackler hadn't rolled away, allowing that jackal, according to referee Jamie Pearl. And Bellamy drills it a modest number of meters. But the key thing across the touchline. You notice as well, banged it off his left. He can kick off both feet, Josh Bellamy. Saw him kicking goals with his right, punting with his left. So very, very skillful operator. No wonder the desire to move him towards 10, get his hands on the ball. Very good tackle. Illegal turnover from Irish though. So Bellamy takes off a meteor chunk of the touchline this time and takes us into the Irish 22. Of course, both these sides missing some players who are involved with the England under-20s in South Africa. I wonder. Connor Byrne, Sean Kerr and Rory Taylor tuning in. All three involved in the England under-20 victory yesterday at Pyle Gym. Irish's Rory Taylor with 9 points from the bench, including a nerveless penalty with the clock in the red to seal the 36-34 win. They'll be enjoying this, seeing their mates, a whole host of under-18s and under-17s involved today. Cam Ellis puts his head down and uses his brawn. Tuipulotu, again, direct. Seeks territory. Nice bounce as the ball almost hits the touchline. Well watched by Minton. He does very well, but Peters is there. Peters, silky running, goes slaloming through and finds a green jersey on his shoulder. Lee looking for Tuipulotu, he says no, and then Lee loops behind him. Oh, it opened up for Jack Lee. Tuipulotu came hurtling towards the Quins backline like a meteorite. No wonder they bit in, but just crossing an obstruction in there called by the referee. More frustration for Irish, a good opportunity spurned. Kadir up top. Schmid. Less purchase on this carry than his try. Options are plenty for Bellamy. Turned over in the tackle. Bellamy was calling for the penalty for Quins. The Irish are hanging in this fight. Yet to score in this half. 20 minutes remaining. Irish on the Quins 22. In the hands of Goodrich. Can they get some phases together, the men in green? Well, we'll have to wait for a shoelace for the referee. We're away nice and quick. Irish looking to drive, no engagement from Quins. As a result, accidental offside called from the muddle at the back by Jamie Pearl. Tough call. Take another look here. No contest from Quins. Irish take it. They look to build, squeeze Lee out. Well, the no engagement from Quins probably created a bit of confusion amongst the Irish attackers, and that's a strong, powerful run though, coming through the centres from McMillan. It's been good today, McMillan. Every time his name's been mentioned, both sides of the ball. Once again, the pattern of, play not really developing, too long, too many phases goes, but Irish go quick. Here's Tyler Afire, starved of possession thus far in the game. Lee pops it on to Worley Brady. Peters goes to the right, to Palozzi, sticks his head down, pumps the legs, and drags a couple of Quins' bodies across the line, but he can't get it down. Just see the power of the man there. One of 4 under-17s featuring for London Irish today. Another look at the angle. What an effort from Lucas Friday. Cam Ellis. Again, direct and abrasive in the carry. Big dummy coming from Peters. Finds Ben By-South on his shoulder, who's fresh on. Lee, been really impactful since coming on, Lee. Peters adding some zip into the game. Johnny Sharp, caught high. Let's go, let's go. That's the call from the touchline. Irish looking for a bit of tempo. And instead, they plump for the touchline. Louis Hurd dropping it on the boots. This is Irish's best passage since scoring in the first half. The most concerted passage in Quins' territory. Can they make it count with a try? Irish on the attack. New man by South. Cut in half in the midfield, but Irish retain possession. Hurd to Ellis to Sharp. A beautiful line from Afire, who reaches and adds the finishing touches. We said he's been starved of possession. Well, he gobbles up that opportunity and gets the Exiles right back into it. Well, it's a beautiful late shift in angle from Afire, who'd come seeking work from his right wing. And Quins under-resourced in that 15-metre channel. Too tough to defend. Strong finish. Just a sniff now for this London Irish side, who maybe, just maybe, are looking to emulate the efforts of the under-17s, who came from behind earlier today to beat Quins 33-26. Plenty of rugby left in this half. 15 to go. Chance to close the gap to 7. And that is right out of the screws. Louis Hurd adds the extras. London Irish 12, Harlequins 19. A steepling kick from Bellamy asks a lot of Irish, but they do come away at Peters, who's really growing into this game. Finds the pass to Lee, who again's in the action. Great energy from him since coming on. Ellis drops the shoulder, as is his way. Try scorer McEachern. Hurd loses it. Stumbles around his head and knocks on. Big play for Quins as they call in the reinforcements. Here come a great swathe of replacements now. So departing looks like Jack Thomas in the 13 jersey, Rory Minton, Richard Twitchen, Jimmy Staples, Hal Kennedy, Kane Fleary. Gabriel Kadir's gone. So fresh lungs, fresh legs, fresh ambitions for Quins. But this one now in the balance since that fire try. Well, the crowd getting a little bit livelier as we enter the closing stages of this match. And typically, with so much fresh personnel coming onto the field, just not quite the rhythm at scrum time. Izzy Suleiman, Ralph Hawker and Jasper Cockburn-Miller now on for Irish. Irish win the penalty. So a win for the new Irish front row. A few high fives knocking around, bit of an energy shift that we're sensing on the field now from that score from a fire, from that passage in the Quins 22, from the pressure that's been applied. So a test of the Quins character now, the character that Jim Evans lauded in our pre-match chat. Suleiman, first throw of the match. Lee with the dummy jump. Good drills from Irish, but not straight on the throw. Oh, hugely frustrating. They created enough subterfuge to jump uncontested, but Izzy Suleiman, maybe a bit cold from the bench, not able to throw quite straight enough. Still pressure on Quins in their 22. Quins hold, Bellamy drops out the back and pumps it off the left boot. Ricochet off the shoulder of Theo Williamson. And Finn Wiseman on debut, cheered on from the touchline. Williamson calling for it, finds a fire, who sets himself free and throws out the fen, links back up with Williamson. Irish into the heart of the Quins 22. Green jerseys pouring forward. Suleiman 5 metres shy, the Irish. Hurd to Ellis, who drops the shoulder, darts inside. And that's the try he's been after all day. Irish in the ascendancy, they get their third. They've got a kick to level up. We got a match on our hands. Well, with Quinn scrambling, it was that double pump from Louis Hurd, Cam Ellis lurking out the back. And it just opened up for him, didn't it? Louis Hurd does the business from the tee. It is 19 apiece. 8.5 minutes to go. Big test of both these young teams' characters. Well, after the bounce off the left, the next thing you could see was the grin from Cam Ellis. Bellamy, goodness me, sends it into orbit here in Hazelwood. It was a great chase, but just knocked on by Quins. To be Ollie Streeter, fresh on, wearing 20 in the head guard. So, a reversal of fortunes in the last 15 minutes. Irish, who just couldn't hold on to possession for any long stretch. No territory. Now they're the ones with the bounces of the ball going their way. The errors coming from Quins. The 2 unanswered converted tries. They've got the confidence, and Peters has the put in. Looked really good since coming back on. The try scorer, Ellis, full of beans after his score. Peters looking, well, fumbled backwards. Play on for the Irish. Deep in the pocket and happy to let the boot do the talking. Well, that's an awkward bounce, and it almost sits up for a fire. You wonder if he'd gone for it with his hands, whether it would have sat up nicely into the breadbasket. Frenetic stuff. These are the pressure moments that these boys play for. This is the purpose of this league. For these young men to know what it feels like to be under pressure, to be hunting for that win. And Bellamy, who's hardly put a foot wrong all day, gives up possession to Irish. Peters finds a fire down the short side, who goes for a gallop. Throws a speculator out the back door. And that is terrific cover play. Peters is just sparking everything for Irish from the base at the moment, punching well above his weight. And we're seeing the link up with a fire as well, more and more. Hardly got a finger on the ball in the first half. Hardly got a finger on the ball in the opening 55 minutes. But becoming increasingly prominent, the under 17-year-old. So a brief stoppage. Quinn's player down near the try line. Hoping he's going to be all right. Lucas Friday. What a piece of defensive play he put in right in that very corner to deny a man twice his weight, I'd speculate. Kepu Tuipulotu in full flow, pumping forward. But tenacious as ever, Lucas Friday there to confront and deny him. So Friday is replaced. Quinn's on the back foot. Irish with this momentum and finding Lee, one of the guys who has sparked this comeback from Irish. Here we go. More green jerseys pouring forward in the shape of replacement Cockburn Miller. Spoiled by Quins. Deemed to be offside. More pressure for Quins to soak up. Pause in play as Jamie Pearl speaks to Irish, and they plump for the poles. Well, this is game management from Irish. They're here to play an expansive game. They're here to score tries. But chiefly, both these sides here to win. And Louis Hurd's penalty puts London Irish in the best position to do just that. 14 points they trailed by, but now they lead by 3. London Irish 22, Harlequins 19, 3 minutes left of the match. Can Quins dig deep? Another towering kick from Bellamy, but claimed by Ellis. The big names in this Irish side beginning to step up at the crucial moment. And a penalty as well to compound it. Just as Connor Peters was shaping to box, the penalty given to Irish, it gets sent long over the touchline, long over the fence. Up to halfway. Quins need some possession. They need anything, any scrap they can get. It has been all Irish in this fourth quarter of the match. Funboard in the air, but a free kick for an early lift from Quins. That is a tough call. Tough call. Sending the man up with the ambition to contest in the air. So the free kick is converted into a scrum by London Irish. Everyone on edge here at Hazelwood. Benches on their feet, coaching staff shuffling around. Louis Hurd takes a knee for some treatment. This final 90 seconds is going to be a battle of wills. Irish scrum. It's a reminder that our clock isn't entirely in step with the referee. So if it ticks red, it may not be up. Peters fishes the ball out of a scrum that's in retreat, and he knocks it on under the pressure. Big roars coming from the far side, where all the Harlequins cohort are there willing the boys in quarters on to mount their comeback. They've led the entire match until that penalty from London Irish's Louis Hurd. More time being taken out of the game. Theo Curry. It was his intervention in the first half which really got Quins believing. An intercept, a rampaging run, and then the awareness to offload to Gabriel Kadir. Well, that'll be the last we'll see of Curry. Replacement on. Quins with the put-in. What can Bellamy create? He's been so good in the 10 jersey today. He's got Jack Thomas slightly more promoted from him. As Quins fight to get the ball out. Here comes Bellamy on the wraparound, pins his ears back. Is it going to be a bit of solo magic to determine this match? Beautiful interplay from the replacements, Webb to Fitzgerald, but Irish come away with it through Jack Lee. Jack Lee, who has been exceptional since coming on in this second half. Hurd drops it on the boot, doesn't find touch, and Quins will attack again through Ben Webb. A skip from Webb, who tries to get outside Suleiman, and he's levelled by Tui Pelotu. Quins retain possession, they've got numbers as well if they can find the right pass. Irish scrambling, Quins hunting. They go to the short side through Kennedy. Every decision being appealed for. The players all know the importance of this play, and Tui Pelotu clamps down on Bellamy. The long arm of Jamie Pearl goes to the Hazelwood skies, but it goes to the green side. And it is them who are throwing their arms in the air, who are mobbed by their replacements, because they have snatched victory from their old West London foes. Trailing for the best part of 67 minutes. Trailing by 14, the Irish hung in there, they battled. They found a way, they found 2 converted tries. And finally, they found the boot of Louis Hurd to kick them to a 22-19 victory over Quins. A thriller at Hazelwood. It doesn't go the way of Quins. It goes to the Irish. That's how it all started, with Frank McMillan scoring early for the boys in quarters. Irish responded, but that was the last that anyone saw of any attacking threat from the boys in green for much of the match. Theo Curry's interception and consequent run set up Gabriel Kadir, who showed great athleticism and desire throughout everything he did in the match. And this was the pick of the tries for Quins. A careering Lucas Schmid, a charged up Lucas Schmid, driving through the heart of the Irish defence from that delayed pass from Frank McMillan. Score returning provider. That was right at the opening of the second half. And Quins continued to press. Irish toiled, and magnificent defence on the line from Lucas Friday. Denied Kepu Tui Pelotu. But this was the try that got the Irish believing. Tyler Afire coming in off his right wing, looking for work on the left, and then bouncing off the same foot to find his way in. So that's what got London Irish going. That's what got the blood pumping. Next up, it was one of their talismen, the vice captain, Cam Ellis. He had a huge gap to drop a shoulder and go darting through. Too much space for a man with that much attacking pedigree. Hurt's conversion leveled up the match. And then the final act was the Irish 10. Louis Hurd slotting a penalty from in front of the sticks. Harlequins fall agonisingly short at Hazelwood. The final score here, London Irish under 18s 22, Harlequins under 18s 19.